there's nothing worse than having bad technique in the gym. And I stopped and I said, I can think of something worse. And he goes, what? I said, not going to the gym at all. And he laughed and shrugged his shoulders and he goes, yeah, I guess so. This idea is, I understand where it comes from, but I think it hits at a key hurdle, a key barrier that prevents a lot of people from taking action. Because if you ask 100 people, is exercise good for you? You're going to get 100 yeses. But most of those people aren't exercising. So we know it's good for us, but we don't do it. So we have a bunch of barriers and a bunch of hurdles and a bunch of things that are getting in our way. And a lot of those are psychological, to be fair. And this idea that there's nothing worse than bad technique, I think that is a barrier. It's a barrier for a lot of people. So we think about good technique and bad technique as this like false dichotomy. So visualize a vertical line. So it's going north to south, running right down the middle. On the left-hand side of the line, you have bad technique. And on the right-hand side of the line, you have good technique. Well, if you only have two choices and you don't do something regularly or you haven't done it a long time, you definitely won't have good technique. So your only other option then is bad technique. And if we have it in our mind that there's nothing worse than bad technique, well, then how do you get started, Because you have to be bad at something for quite some time before you can be at least decent at it. And I think this all or nothing mentality is again, it's logical. I understand it, but it prevents people from moving. So what I would challenge you to do is rather than have this vertical line that runs north-south, let's have a horizontal line that runs east-west. And instead of saying good technique and bad technique, let's say like less optimal technique and more optimal. So for any exercise on any given day, you're somewhere on that line. Regardless of where you are on the line, we can train. If you're at that less optimal end, so maybe your range of motion isn't great, you don't really understand the exercise, you're weak, you're uncomfortable, we would have you scale way back. So maybe you're struggling with the deadlift because you want to be able to pick things up. Well, maybe we limit the range of motion. We don't have you go all the way to the floor, and maybe we use a PVC pipe that weighs nothing, or a really light dumbbell or something that's manageable. And we only do a couple reps, and then we give you a lot of rest time. And we only progress at a speed and an intensity that is relatively comfortable for you. And then over time, we progressively make things more challenging, and we move you along that east-west line from less optimal to more